Those founding fathers are driving me nuts. Flag design changes every 5 minutes. Well, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm making them a flag, ready or not.
It's totally covered with crud. You're brilliant. What a novel design. Come to Baltimore at once. Well, I'll just run to the Chronojon.
There's something in the Chronojon.
Cool, the room clerk's a mummy. What's up? Don't feel like talking, huh? Vow of silence or something, probably, right? Well, that's cool. I have something for Red Edison. Do you know where I could find him? Great hat, man. I know some dudes in a band who'd eat roaches for hats like that. Know where I could get them a couple of hats extra big? Would I need to go to a specialty store? I don't suppose you'd consider parting with yours, would you? Well, let me know if you change your mind. Well, nice talking to you, dude.
If you think I'm something to look at now, just wait!
Hi there, mister.
Franklin, Ben Franklin, soon to be known as the inventor of electricity.
Do you know Red Edison? He's a scientist guy, too.
Red Edison? A scientist? He's just an innkeeper who pretends to be a scientist, and he's not very good at doing either one. I can't believe Washington and Jefferson picked his inn, of all places, to write our Constitution.
Shouldn't you say the discoverer of electricity?
You think the ultimate power in the universe is just under some rock waiting to be discovered? Ha! I, Ben Franklin, am going to summon power from the sky by sheer force of genius!
You are truly whacked, Ben.
Huh! That's what they said about the man who invented bifocals.
Wasn't that you?
Good point. Guess they were right.
How exactly are you going to do that power luring?
Using one of my newest inventions. I like to call it the Francocopter.
That's a kite, Ben. They've been around for thousands of years.
Oh, sure, as toys. But this one is a letter to the gods. It says, "Dear Thor, just one drop of your mighty juice in the hands of a genius like me could illuminate the entire world. Love, Ben."
I hope you wrote it in Swedish so Thor can read it. Or were those guys Norwegian?
I was speaking figuratively. What actually is happening is that I'm waiting for lightning to strike my kite.
Aren't you missing a key or something?
The key to discovery is daring intellect, my boy. Daring intellect and rigorous science.
No, I mean a real key.
You mean the where the heck did I put my keys kind of key?
Yeah.
That's a manual device. It needs no power. Seriously, man, what are you thinking?
Isn't it too sunny for lightning?
Shh! I know that. I'm just trying to keep my grant going until we get a storm.
And then what?
And then the electricity charges the kite.
And then what?
Then the electricity travels down the string.
And then what?
It charges me, of course.
And then what?
I glow with its almighty power.
And then what?
I use its power to make the world a better place.
And then what?
The world kneels before me, asking me to guide it with my mighty benevolence.
And then what?
I have all annoying pests like you locked up.
And then what?
Shot.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to back away now, just in case.
Carry on.
The Constitutional Convention invites your comments, critiques, amendments to the Constitution. Yo.
Hello?
What's up, you cold?
Cold? I'm freezing.
Why don't you have some hot coffee?
Oh, I can't stand coffee. It makes me irritable and want to bang my head against the walls.
Have you tried decaffeinated coffee?
I'm talking about decaf.
Still cold, huh?
What clued you in? The shivering, the knocking knees, the deathly pallor, or the chattering teeth?
Why don't you build a fire?
Well, I keep asking Jefferson to build a fire, but he won't. Says he needs the log for posterity and won't part with it.
He's going to give the log to starving children?
I don't get any respect around here. Why, I bet if George I spent the winter in Valley Forge, Washington was cold, we'd get some heat in here.
How come you sign your name so big?
Astigmatism.
You mean you have like a childhood complex?
Alright, the truth is that a friend once told me that women go crazy over guys with a big signature.
What are you guys doing in here?
We're writing
We're drafting a constitution for the United States.
Don't say draft, you'll only make me colder.
Wimp.
Well, why don't you put a coat on?
I'm wearing a coat, you nitwit. I've even got this blanket which makes me itch, and I'm still freezing. You have a what?
Shouldn't you guys be working instead of just sitting there?
Writer's block. We can't think of any amendments or anything, so we put a suggestion box over there. I don't suppose you have any brilliant ideas?
You could guarantee the right to free speech.
Free speech? No, that'll never work.
Well, I gotta go, dude. Hey, tall, dark, and spiffy, my name's Hoagie.
Well, how quaint. I am, of course, Thomas Jefferson, noted scholar, musician, horseman, student of the sciences, member of the bar.
Oh, sure, I've heard of you, dude. Dude, is that like the Constitution?
Right now, it's just a constitution, I'm afraid. We hit a slight creative block right after the preamble. That's why we put up a suggestion box over there.
Has anyone ever told you you're a very snappy dresser?
Why, yes. I studied at Virginia Coat and Technical, where I majored in color theory. I was captain of the varsity cravat team.
Those are impressive credentials, Tom.
Thomas.
Dude, I loved your work on the Declaration of Independence.
Ah, thank you. What was your favorite part?
I like the we the people part.
That's not in the Declaration of... Say, that's not bad. Maybe we can use it.
Later, brah.
What? What's going to happen later?
Excuse me. Yes? Whoa, you're like George Washington. Very much like him, according to my wife, Mrs. Washington. Does Mrs. Washington know you wear so much makeup? One must wear makeup when one receives the phenomenal amount of media attention that I do. It's quite likely that I'll be president soon, you know. Do you think I should be the ecology president or the education president? I think ecology is very important. Yes, of course, but what really matters is which one sounds better. Do you really have wooden teeth? As a matter of fact, I do make use of artificial teeth. I find them to be far superior to the ordinary enamel variety. Don't you have a problem with splinters? I've been to war, boy. No one who's heard the thunder of musket fire, smelled the sulphur from a cannon blast, and felt the fear in the hearts of his comrades is going to be bothered by a little thing like, "Oh, blast it." Well, what about dry rot? Hardly. My Uncle Henry has false teeth, too. Fascinating, I'm sure. What are you looking at out there? The future of our nation. A system of free enterprise and opportunity? No. I was just admiring my reflection in the window. Striking, aren't I? Gee, I gotta go now. covered with plans and junk. Hey,
What is it?
you look kind of familiar.
Of course I do. I'm Red Edison, the inventor, not to mention owner of this inn. Perhaps you've seen my picture in some important scientific journal. Then again, maybe not.
Do you know Ben Franklin?
Franklin? I would never associate with that overstuffed goofball. He has the stupidest idea about glasses with one red lens and one blue one.
What are you doing?
I'm inventing, you simpleton. What's it look like I'm doing?
What are you inventing?
It's a complex metal device designed to minimize paper entropy.
I know an inventor who looks a bit like you.
Well, it's not one of my sons, that's for sure. It appears that I, Red Edison, foremost genius of my day, am to be the last in a long line of gifted inventors. My nearly indistinguishable sons have decided that they want to be artists. I think it was Jed's idea. Or is it Ned? Ah, well, the left-handed one at any rate. Must be some sort of bad blood on their mother's side.
Well, see you later.
You might if you cut that hair a bit shorter.
It's the battery plans I'm supposed to give to that Red Edison dude.
Super battery, eh? Brilliant design. Sometimes I amaze myself. Now all I need is oil, vinegar, and some gold. Ah, excellent. I need that for my super battery. Say, that's a left-handed hammer, you know. I invented it myself. It was for my ungrateful slob of a left-handed son. Oh, well.
How about an amendment that the president has to be a human being?
Please, this is serious business.
You're right.
So as soon as Hoagie gets that battery working, we're set.
I'm afraid not. We still need a diamond for the main unit. And your friend in the future needs power too, if she's still alive.
Alive?
Get me out of here! I like trees and everything, but this one has got to go.
Here I am, don't get your carols in an uproar. Excuse me, Mr. Washington. Boy, what a mess.
The water's all sudsy now. Dum-de-dum. Looks like a big storm. See, this is why I never wash my car. Hey, Ben.
Oh, it's you.
Where are you going? What about your experiment?
Even science sometimes gets cold on account of rain, my boy.
But how are you ever going to get lightning if you're not going to stand out in a storm?
To be frank, which I am, I don't know. The science of electrodynamics, much like your mind apparently, is still in a state of relative infancy. Back to the drawing board, I say.
What a genius.